when you multiply in. And then there's this thing called the power rule, d dx x to the n. The derivative is, sorry, my thing is working, not working very well. Nx to the n minus 1 power. Let me just check something. It's really weird. Okay, so if there's a constant, the constant stays with it, and then you still bring the exponent down and you subtract 1 from the exponent, like that.
Okay.
So in this case, in short, I mean, and there's, let me also put in the chat here a table of derivatives and integrals that you'll want to have to be successful in this class. I probably already sent it to you for when we were doing that thing over the summer, but good to have here.
Yeah.
Drop that in the chat. All right, so it's 3 times 2 x to the 3 minus 1 power. So you bring that exponent down.
Okay.
6x squared minus 5x to the 5 minus 1 power, 5x to the 4th, like that. That is your derivative, dy dx.
So, okay, so we're bringing the exponent to the front. So for the minus 5x to the power of 5 minus 1, do we still keep the power to 5?
No, you subtract 1. You always,
once you plug it in here. Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, this, just to be clear, this is your answer. And you get it by taking the exponent, bringing it down, multiplying by the coefficient. There's really a, there's really a 1 in front, so it's 5 times 1, like that.
And then we got the 5. Oh, because we brought, okay, got it. Okay, we brought the 5 down in the front because of the power to the power. Okay, but still kept the 5 minus 1 equals 4. Okay, and this rule is called what for the derivatives?
It's called the power rule.
The power rule, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Power rule. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got it. Yeah, I'm just gonna type them in at the end so we could just like go through them.
Okay. So yeah, just let me know. That's fine. Let me grab the next one here. So next one is very similar. You will distribute in. So this x to the 6 is going to go into both. So it's y equals x to the 6 minus x to the 7th, like that. So there's really a 1 there. So you're adding, when you multiply and you add exponents, it's just it's a rewrite step. There is no calculus yet. Your derivative is, you bring the exponent down, 6x to the 5th power, you subtract 1, 7x to the 6th power.
6th power. Okay.
Subtract 1 like that.
Okay. So it's just a lot of subtracting, adding, and then bringing down exponents. Okay. Yes. Okay, got it. I guess I'll just type it in.
All right. So the next one here is, so this is a new rule. Actually, I take that back. More algebra. So I'm avoiding doing like the more complicated rules, which this one you would want it to foil. First, there is a way to do it without foiling, but I don't know where you're at in the course yet, so I'm gonna do it this way, and then we'll get to the other stuff. So, when you foil, you get 16x squared minus 8x plus 4, 16x squared minus 16x plus 4. Again, you have not taken a derivative. This is a non-derivative step. Okay. Now you're going to take a derivative. You're going to bring the 2 down. 2 times 16 is 32. The exponent, you subtract 1. This one's maybe the most, it's maybe the oddest here. So it's kind of a new rule, but it's kind of isn't. The derivative of a constant times x is just the constant.
So it's just 16 then?
It's just 16, yeah. But it really is the power rule, because you're bringing it down and it's 1 minus 1 for the exponent, which is 0. And any of the 0 power is 1. So that's why it's just it just becomes that.
Yeah.
Okay. There's kind of another derivative of a constant is 0. So
Mhm.
that's why it's,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so there's your final
Mhm.
answer on that.
Okay. Okay, got it. So even if x is to the power of 1, we still have to write that even,
You don't have to put a 1 there.
yeah.
Yeah, that was just for emphasis.
Yeah. Um, okay, gotcha.
All right, we're going to do 5 next. 4 is like out of scope for what you guys are doing right now, but I mean, we'll get to it, but let's do 5 next.
Okay.
Really quickly though, I got to see if I can fix this problem. So
Mhm.
I'm going to stop sharing for a moment.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can figure out what is going on with. It's still off. Okay, that will require a restart. All right. Okay, so we're back in business here. Again, there's a rewrite here. It's x times x to the 1/2 power. And there's really a 1 there. So it's when the bases are the same, you add the exponents. This is really x to the 3/2 power, like that.
Okay.
So those are all rules you learned in your previous course.
Yeah.
I don't know how you feel about that, but that's they do expect you to remember that stuff.
Yeah.
So now you can take a derivative. Okay. Now you can say, okay, you're gonna bring the exponent down. So the derivative is, or dy dx is 3/2 x, 3/2 minus 1 power.
Okay.
So to subtract 1, you make a common denominator.
Mhm.
So it ends up being
1/2.
1/2. So it's dy dx equals 3/2 x to the 1/2 power.
Okay, gotcha.
All right, so 6 is very similar.
Mhm. Okay.
Understand what's going on. Okay. So this is x to the 7th times x to the 1/2.
Mhm.
7 is really 14 over 2.
Mhm.
And then we're adding it to the 1/2. So this becomes x to the 15
Mhm.
over 2 power,
Sure.
like that.
Got it.
Okay. And
Mhm.
then your derivative dy dx
Mhm.
is equal to 15 over 2 x to the 15 over 2 minus 1.
Mhm.
That becomes minus 2 over 2. Sometimes you got to come off to the side
Mhm.
and write it.
Yeah.
So it'd be 13 over 2. So your derivative is 15 over 2 x to the 13 over 2 power.
Got it.
Okay.
Okay, that's not bad.
Glad use a calculator.
Mhm.
Use the calculator. Okay, let's go back to number 4 now.
Mhm.
Have you heard of the quotient rule?
We've like briefly covered it, but so he doesn't make the homework, which is like interesting. My teacher, like he teaches us like notes like on PDFs, but then he doesn't make our tests or our homework. Like this is just like what ASU assigns. So, but like, yeah,
The
he briefly
standard, yeah.
mentioned it, but I'm still unfamiliar.
Okay, so this is a quotient rule problem. It's a quotient because there's a top and a bottom.
Bottom, yeah.
So the way you'll see this written, I'm going to use u and v.
Mhm.
U is 2x plus 5.
Mhm.
V is 4x minus 1.
Mhm. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
what is the derivative of u? Can you give me the derivative of 2x plus 5 based on what we've been doing so far today?
Um, is it gonna be we bring the 5 in front of 2 or
So the first one is the derivative of a constant times uh n. So let me grab that reference sheet
Mhm.
again and just snip in like what this one is so you can see
Yeah.
it. It's in the common derivative section here.
Yeah, I'm looking.
Okay, so right there, d dx of a constant times x It's just the constant,
So it's just two.
just two.
Two.
What is
Okay.
the derivative of a constant?
Itself, so just five.
It is zero. The derivative of a constant is
Constant is
zero.
zero. Okay.
That's the other one here that comes into play.
Mhm.
What
Is
is v prime?
v prime is just going to be 4.
Four. Good. Okay. Now, if you look in the derivatives table sheet that I sent you, and your teacher should
Yeah.
supply one or give you
Mhm.
one.
Mhm.
Sometimes they'll even let you have it on the test. So
Mhm.
it's always good to ask.
Yeah.
Um, you'll see quotient rule.
Mhm.
I don't like the way it's written, but you have to remember the rule. So it's the
Mhm.
bottom. Sorry, let me
Mhm.
do it. Let me do it down here. dy dx, or the derivative, is bottom times the derivative of the top
Mhm.
minus the top times derivative of the bottom over the bottom squared. And you have all this. You have
Mhm.
v, you have you have u prime, you have v prime. You have everything here for this. You're
Mhm.
just you're just substituting. So v is 4x minus 1,
Mhm.
u prime is 2, u is 2x plus 5, v prime is 4 over 4x minus 1 squared. Now you'll notice that it does say to simplify your answer.
Mhm.
On a test, it may not. It may actually just say, like, you can leave your answer unsimplified.
Mhm. And that would be the step that we just did. The plug.
So yeah, like
Yeah.
this would be considered good. Now, for
Yeah.
you, we have to simplify. So you have to
Break
multiply
it
the
down. Yeah.
2. So you get 8x minus 2, and then you multiply the 4 in. So it becomes minus 8x, distribute the negative, minus 20, all over 4x minus 1 squared. The minus 8x cancels with the 8x.
Yeah.
And so it is fairly standard on these to get just a number on top.
Mhm. So -22, and then we FOIL out the bottom.
No, that's actually okay as is.
Oh, okay.
You might wonder why, but that is
Is so there's like is there like no
preferred.
explanation to why we don't FOIL out the bottom?
It,
Or
it's because it's 2 terms instead of 3, it's preferred.
okay.
Less is more.
Mhm. Okay, I will
I
make
don't know
a
if I agree, but
Mhm. Um, okay. Wrote that down. And that was just yeah, that was number 4. Yeah, quotient. Uh, okay. Then I guess we could go to
so we're gonna do the bottom one,
Mhm.
the last one that the here, grab it here. Number 9 is also a quotient rule.
Mhm.
So we'll do this one next. It's set up exactly the same way.
Okay. Down.
So it's again, it's a U and a V. You'll
Mhm.
notice that your that reference sheet uses F and G. I think U and V are better because they're letters you would see in a future course. I know you're probably not taking any more math, but um,
I have one more
so
math class after this, but yeah.
oh, you do. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So U prime here, V prime. Could you try and calculate those for us, please?
U is gonna be just U prime is just gonna be 6.
With x squared, what's the root of x squared?
Uh, look at the sheet.
So it's x to the n, x to the n.
So that's 6 minus 2. Or wait, that's the power rule. Wait.
Let me grab the snip of it. So um, when you're answering this, like, what you're trying to do is figure out which one does it look like. The
Mhm.
first one is a constant. Second one is just x. It's a number times x.
Mhm.
This is x to some exponent, like
Mhm.
x squared.
Mhm.
This is a number in front, x to some exponent. So x squared falls into the
The third
fourth
one.
one.
Yeah.
So
So uh it would be okay, wait, 6x.
the x squared is this x to the n.
Okay, I think I'm kind of. So n is representing what? Is that a constant?
The exponent, the exponent.
Exponent. So
Two.
x squared. So two.
Yes, yes. So you're bringing the
Two to the
exponent
front.
down and
Mhm.
then x, and then you're subtracting one from the exponent.
So that's 2x to the power of 1.
Yes.
Yeah,
Plus now 6x. 6x is this one over here in the middle, the third one.
third one, which is just 6.
Okay. And then minus one is a constant. The derivative of a constant is,
It's just 0, so we don't put anything.
that's right. So try to use the same analysis to figure out the
The
derivative of
second,
v,
okay.
please.
So the second one is so v is so it's gonna be 4x and then
Nope.
to the power of
Nope.
2.
Nope. You got it. It's the same kind of setup as the previous one. You got to take the derivative of x squared
Oh,
first.
so we bring the 2 to the front, which is 2x.
Okay, 2x.
And then we do the 4 minus 2. Wait,
No,
no,
no. 4x
that's
is the middle one
the
here.
middle one.
Yeah,
So that is just 4.
plus 4. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. Like normally I would spend way more time with you working on derivatives if we weren't doing homework, like building up to this.
Yeah.
Um, so you just keep that. I really would probably recommend spending some more time on
On this.
just
Yeah.
the more basic derivatives like
Yeah.
these here.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the quotient rule, the derivative dy dx
Mhm.
is the bottom times the root of the top minus the top times the root of the bottom over the bottom squared. Now you're just putting in for those, your v, you're putting in for v. V
Okay.
is x squared plus 4x minus 1. Your u prime is 2x plus 6. I'm running out of space here. Let me see if I can move all this over. Minus u, which is the x squared plus 6x minus 1. And then the v prime is 2x plus 4.
Mhm.
You can see why you don't want to simplify this. Oops,
Yeah.
sorry, 2x, sorry. I'm having an issue with my stylus,
Mhm.
which I can't resolve without a restarts. That's why
Mhm.
this keeps happening, but it becomes x squared plus 4x minus 1 squared. So you can enter all of this into WebAssign and it will take it without simplifying.
Mhm. So I would just type this whole thing and not even simplify
Yes,
it.
don't simplify this.
Okay. So there's like no reason to why we don't simplify it. Is it just because?
It normally will say in the problem not to.
Mhm.
This one I think says that you need not expand your answer.
Yeah, you don't.
Um,
Okay. Okay, I will type that in at the end.
yeah, listen, let me grab the next types of problems. The next type of problems are quotient rule, I'm sorry, product rule problems.
Yeah, I think so.
So number 7 notes that there is a product there.
Mhm.
These are actually easier. Usually these are taught first.
Mhm.
Uh, so it's a product. Like you literally see that there is a product there. Wow.
Mhm.
Um, okay. And it's u times v. So y equals u times v. U is x plus 4. V is x squared minus 4.
Mhm.
Can you calculate u prime and v prime for us, please?
Mhm. So for u prime, that's just gonna be okay, wait. So if we just have x in the front, isn't that just 1? Yeah. 1 and then 4 stays as is.
Derivative of a constant is 0.
0, so there's nothing there then. It just stays as 1. Or it's like it's 1
Yeah,
plus
the
0.
answer is just 1. Yes.
1, yeah. It's just 1. And then v prime is gonna be 2x. And then the constant is 0, so it's just 2x.
All right, so the product rule derivative
Mhm.
is you pair up the derivatives with the original. So you'll notice that And it only worked here is that you basically combine these diagonally.
Mhm.
You're pairing up because the order doesn't matter. Like you can switch the order when you're adding u, v prime, v, u prime, or u prime, v. Basically, you're just multiplying with what's in the table there. So it's 2x times, I'm sorry, that's not right. U is x plus 4, v
Mhm.
prime is 2x, u prime is 1, v is x squared minus 4, like that.
Mhm. And we
That's
don't
your answer.
simplify further. Yeah.
You need not.
Okay. Okay, got it.
Need not. So being very clear there. All right, 8. 8 is similar. Um, right, so kind of the same thing here. You got a u and a v. Your y is u times v.
Mhm.
Let me make some more room over here. U is 9x squared plus x. V is x minus x squared. Would you calculate the derivatives of this for us, please?
Um, for u prime, that's gonna be we bring 2 to the front.
Okay.
So do we multiply it by 9 or
Yes.
no? Yes,
Yes.
it's gonna
Yes.
be 18x.
Good.
And then I'm looking, and then x is just 1, so would it be 18x plus 1?
Good. Very
Yeah.
good.
Mhm. And then for v prime, that's gonna be x is just 1. So
That's true. But what about for the next one? Oh, I'm sorry. You're just doing for this one, right? Oh, sorry. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
looking
v
at
prime.
v prime. Yeah, v prime, would it just be 1 minus 2x?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mhm.
So your derivative again, you're going to pair them up. So it's
Mhm.
u v prime plus u prime v. You're just pairing them up. You're pairing up, like a 9x squared plus x
Mhm.
times 1 minus 2x
Mhm.
plus u prime, which is 18x plus 1 times v, which is x minus x squared.
Okay. Diagonal. And that is just left as is. Okay, got it. Um, okay, let me see what else I could look on or like work on. Um, I guess I wanted to look at some like marginal cost stuff.
Okay.
See, yeah. Um, yeah, like I guess like reading graphs and like calculate. I guess we could start like here at like 2.
All right. Give me just a moment to snip those in. Grab number 2. All right. I got number 2.
It's loading. I guess this is kind of bigger. So 4,
4.
and then I guess we can do 5 as well.
All right. 5. I can grab in. Give me just a moment to grab 5. Okay. I grabbed 5.
Yeah.
Um,
And then I guess we can just start up until 5. I don't know how long they'll take, but
all right. Let's take a look at these. You said you want to start
uh,
with number 2.
2. Yeah.
Getting set up here.
Mhm.
Okay. We got Find the marginal cost, marginal revenue, marginal profit. So the word marginal means derivative.
Mhm.
So you're just going to take a derivative of the cost function. So like for c of x, which is 7x squared,
Mhm.
you have to be able to take a derivative of this.
Mhm.
So this is one we've already done. Why don't you tell me what the derivative of this is?
Okay, so we'll bring the 2 to the front. So 2 times 7 is 14x.
Okay, 14x. There you go.
Okay.
Revenue function is x cubed plus 11x plus 16. Why don't
Mhm.
you calculate
Yeah.
the derivative of that for us, please?
I'll look at the table. Um, uh, that would be on the common derivative sheet, would it be the fourth, uh, the x to the power of n rule?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would bring the 3 to the front, so it'd be 3x and then 3 to the power of 3 minus 1.
3x squared, good.
3x squared, 3x squared, or it was just a squared or squared, yeah. And then the second one is 11x, so that would just be um just 11 because it's, wait, no, because it's attached with a variable. Uh Wait, 11. Yeah, it would just be 11.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, and
So
then
there, that's the next one there, 3x squared plus 11.
mhm.
All right, now profit is revenue minus cost. And so marginal profit or profit prime is revenue prime minus cost prime. It's basically just subtract the derivatives, 14x minus, in parentheses, 3x squared plus 11.
Okay, got
So you
it.
have 14x minus 3x squared minus 11.
Mhm.
That is your marginal profit.
Okay, I got it. And then marginal profit, and then it says find all the values of x, which the profitable margin, or sorry, marginal profit is 0. Interpret your answer.
So you're setting the marginal profit minus 3x squared plus 14x minus 11 equal to 0. You can solve this a number of ways. You can factor, you can graph. What do you think you would do on a test or
Um,
quiz? Quadratic formula, kind of overkill.
maybe quadratic formula. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, let me just graph it real quick to
And
see
wait,
what
why
the
did we
answers are.
write it as is? Like, why is it? Oh, because you set it up in like the. Okay, never mind. I got it. So we're
Yeah, I
rewriting
mean,
it in like quadratic formula because you have to follow like the power, like exponent rules.
right,
Yeah.
right. Yeah, this one, yeah, I mean, I don't know what to suggest here. I think so. The answers are x equals 1 and x equals 3 2/3, which ends up being 11/3. I tend to think that you would probably graph this, but factoring is hard. Quadratic formula is prone to a lot of problems. It might be something to ask your instructor,
Yeah,
like
because it says enter your answers as a comma separated list. So I think we just list the x values, but I
yes,
don't
yes,
know if we
exactly.
would have to graph it. Okay, I got that. Yeah, I got it.
So we can move on to the next problem here, number 4.
Mhm.
4 here. Yeah, they look kind of overwhelming, but they're just stepping you through the
Uh-huh.
the various things here. So the the revenue R prime here is based on the revenue function. So the revenue function is not given this time, but you know that it's 90 cents per copy,
Mhm.
which is 0.9 times X. That's your revenue function. Like
Mhm.
every time you sell one, you get 90 cents. R
Yeah.
prime of X is the derivative is 0.9. That's 0.9, right? Like that
Mhm.
right there.
All right, got it.
Now P prime is R prime minus C prime. R
Great.
prime is 0.9 minus. Now we don't have C prime. So C prime you have to get from up here. So
Mhm.
that's where we have to take the derivative. C prime of X is 0.1 plus 0.002X. That's just using the rules we've been talking about,
Mhm.
like that. All
Got it.
right, so now you do want to simplify these.
Mhm.
So it's 0.9 minus 0.1 minus 0.002X.
Thanks.
Surprised. That's okay. Um, Interesting. All right. This becomes 0.8 minus
Mhm.
0.002X.
Mhm.
And that's your P prime.
Got it.
You've got a lot of activity there today.
I know
I heard
it's like every 5 minutes there's like a firefighter or ambulance. So I'm like, great.
I have that happen in my house too on occasion. One of the
Yeah,
worst.
I like can't sleep at night 'cause it's like every like 5 minutes.
Okay, that's that second box there.
Yeah.
Um, Revenue. Now they're saying compute the marginal revenue, profit, and so on for 500 copies of the latest edition. So marginal revenue. So that like this kind of this B grouping down here.
Yeah.
R prime of 500 means you're putting 0.9 500 into this function,
Mhm.
which up here 0.9, but because there's no X, there's nothing to do. So it's just 0.9.
0.9. Okay.
Um, this is where I do like testing these if we can.
Mhm.
P prime of 500, you're putting 500 in for X
Mhm.
like that.
Okay.
And we should simplify that real quick. It should be minus 0.2. I don't like some of these numbers. Let me just double check here. I'm just surprised the profit is negative.
Mhm.
0.002X.
Yeah, I can always
Okay.
put it into and see like what it takes.
Okay.
Yeah. So profit
All right.
is negative. Should I should type negative like 0.2 or just point negative 0.2 is
Negative 0.2. It
yeah.
is negative. Why don't you try those couple answers? Let me know if there's any issues with those.
Yeah. Um okay, I guess I'll just press submit. Yeah, so all of those numbers it has like an X next to it. So it's not taking those. Like even
So
the
I'm,
yeah, even the top one. The
yeah, so this is where I wonder if it's just, I don't know, this one's really grainy. I'm not sure why it's 0.9. Um, in dollars, that's in cents, 0.9. X, 0.9. Could you share your screen
yeah,
again, maybe, and just zoom in a little?
yeah. Yeah, I made a mistake on my end. I wasn't watching. I put 0.9x here, so I just typed in point 0.9 and then I have point 0.9 here.
Well, that one's, yeah, so that next one should be 0.8 minus 0.002X.
Yeah.
And then um,
Yeah, these
revenue.
two. So yeah, these two were my mistake, but these ones it did not take.
Oh, compute the revenue and profit. Okay, sorry, not marginal revenue. I see. Okay.
Mhm.
Put 0.9 in the third box and minus 0.2 in the fourth box. Okay, now the revenue, the first box is 0.9 times 500. So we need to just calculate that real quick.
Yeah, which is just.
So 450 for that.
Mhm. And then profit is.
The profit is putting in, well, actually, so just delete that one for now.
Mhm.
I will, you can delete it all. Yeah, hit clear all that. And then it won't count that one against you when you check it because it'll see the same answer. But let's just see if those work.
Yeah, I don't know if I get 2 or 3 attempts, so I don't know if I submit this one more
So
time.
so click on the previous answers up there. Click on details. Sorry, details, not previous answers. They're on the left of it. You get 5 attempts on
Oh,
this.
okay.
And it only counts if you've changed the box.
Okay.
Um,
So I should try now.
yeah, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
It's only gonna.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay. All right. So we're doing better. All right. So let me go back to my screen. Um, Actually, I did miss. I don't have all of this. So let me snip in a bit more of this. All right. Okay, so the profit function, which we don't have, profit is revenue minus cost. The revenue is 0.9x minus 70 plus 0.1x plus 0.001x squared.
Mhm.
The profit at 500 means you have to put 500 in for x there. So this box right here, we're going to get by putting 500 in for x. That's definitely a calculator thing.
Um,
So I'm going to grab my calculator and so I get 80 for that.
um, that's a 70t, right, in the equation?
It's 70 plus.
70
70 plus.
plus.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's 70 plus the 0.1 times 500.
Yes.
Okay. I just want to make sure that I know how to type this in correctly. Minus 70 plus. Yeah, 80.
All right. So now we can interpret the results. The approximate,
Okay, let me see what the options drop down.
is it revenue or profit?
It says the approximate profit or loss. So
Okay.
it's
So it's loss. And the reason it's a loss is because it's negative
negative. Yeah.
is 0.2. Now we change it to positive because it's already lost.
Loss. Yeah.
To figure out where marginal profit is 0, we're
Mhm.
going to set, so to do this part right here, we're going to set this equation down here equal to 0
Okay.
and solve for x. So do that, you add the 0.002x to the other side, divide by 0.002, and x,
X is 400.
that's 400 copies. So the graph of the profit is a vertex, x equals 400. And the profit is a maximum when you sell 400 copies.
Oh, yeah.
Sometimes there's a lot of duplication in the answers. Main takeaway should be that revenue, profit, and cost marginal means derivative.
Mhm.
That's really where you're. Okay, so I think you sent over one more. Let's take a look. Yeah, number 5.
Mhm.
This one's really, really similar.
Mhm.
All right, so it says the society will charge students 110 per serving of pasta. So the revenue function is 1.1 times x. The derivative is 1.1.
Mhm.
So that's that there.
Mhm.
We actually were going to go out of order here. So we're going to go down to this next part, compute the revenue and profit for 200. So revenue of 200, R of 200 means to put 200 in for X.
Mhm.
That's this first box here.
Yeah.
So that ends up being 220.
Yeah.
The marginal revenue is the derivative. That's 1.1.
Mhm. Okay, got it.
So profit is revenue minus cost.
Mhm.
So P prime is R prime minus C prime. They're giving you C here again. C prime is 0.1 plus 0.004x. So
Okay.
R prime is 1.1 minus 0.1 plus 0.004x, like that, which ends up being 1 minus 0.004x. That's what goes here, 1 minus 0.004x, like that.
Yeah. Okay, got that.
So the marginal profit, which is in part B, you have to find P prime of 200, which means you're putting 200 in for this X here. So 1 minus 0.004 times 200.
And that's 0.2.
Yes, 0.2. And that's the marginal profit. The actual profit, we got to go back and do that. Boy. But let's fill in some of these other ones here. So we'll come back to the profit one. We'll get to that in a moment. So the approximate profit is 0.2.
Yeah.
Okay. It's positive, so we know it's a profit. So for which value of X is marginal profit 0? You're setting P prime equal to 0, which is that's 1 minus 0.004x equal to 0. You solve it like before, X ends up being 1 over 0.004. Is 250. I think you'll see that you just replicate those numbers there
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last thing to do here is this profit. So profit is the revenue minus the cost. So we need the cost. We need to figure out the cost of 200 items.
Mhm.
The cost of 200 items is from putting 200 in for X here. So it's 390 plus 0.1 times 200 plus 0.002 times 200 squared.
Yeah. And we're plugging in that 220 into or
200 because it's 200. I know this is confusing. It's not oriented very well for this, but maybe it'll be clearer in the video replay.
yeah. So
Um, Some of these numbers aren't looking the way I want.
I got 490. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I got as well.
Yeah.
Problem is that means that the profit is negative,
Yeah.
but the marginal profit isn't, which is bothersome. But okay, so it's 220 minus 490, try minus 370 in there.
Oh, so 220 minus 370?
Yeah, 220 minus 390,
220 minus 3.
which is
So it's gonna be negative 170.
170, yeah, sorry. So try that. I don't know. We're
Yeah. Oh, okay.
the
It didn't take 170, but everything else is correct.
okay.
Yeah. So
Revenue minus cost. It's 270. 270.
and it's still negative.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is not. Wait, actually, let's see. Yep, that worked. 270. And we got
Okay.
yeah, what two number? It was at 390 minus 200.
220 minus 490.
Okay, got it. Okay, got it. Yeah, I'll make note of that. Okay, yeah, got that.
Okay, we're gonna stop there for today.